oh, this is not what I want to do. This is
exactly what happened actually in Switzerland, where I come from. Yeah, in Switzerland, in Geneva. This is what you do, and all your friends are doing the same things. All my friends basically were bankers.
Over 80% of the people around don't enjoy their work.
Get a good education, stable job, and raise a family.
I slept on a futon until I was 36. I don't fucking regret any of it.
I just want to have some type of impact, no matter what it was.
Welcome to 99 Career Options podcast session number 2. Today we are talking with Raya Skogland. After 4 years in private banking and 1 year as a teaching assistant in Switzerland, Raya moved to Oslo to start a new life. Shortly upon her arrival, she launched a monthly networking event that quickly became one of the most popular networking events for entrepreneurs in Oslo. While listening to all the challenges faced by entrepreneurs, she decided to found Runder. On top of that, she is also a mommy. Let's go and chat with her. Remember that all links and resources are in the show notes at 99careeroptions.com/session number. And you can say hi on Twitter and Facebook using the same name. Raya, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So, is it Raya or Raja or?
So, it's Raya in Norway. We are in Norway.
Yeah.
It's Raja in Switzerland and in France, and it's Raja in Morocco.
So we both met at a common friends party, right?
Mm-hmm, true.
We were both quite active in the startup world.
Exactly.
And then we met again at this event that you organized, right?
Yeah, exactly. Drink Entrepreneurs Oslo.
Okay. Do you want to talk a little bit about what's Drink Entrepreneurs?
Yeah, sure. So Drink Entrepreneurs is a laid-back networking event for entrepreneurs and startuppers and future entrepreneurs to meet in a laid-back atmosphere, to help each other, to inspire each other, and just to grab a beer.
Oh, sounds cool.
Yeah, you should join next time.
Yeah. How did it start, Drink Entrepreneurs?
Well, it started when I came to Norway, actually. I was trying to figure out what I really wanted to do. Yeah. And I just knew that I wanted to go into the startup community. I wanted to start my own startup without knowing what type of startup I was going to start.
Right.
But I knew that, I needed to talk to people who have been there, to discuss with them some ideas, maybe join a startup, but I didn't really think it through. I just knew. I just listened to a little voice inside of me telling me, get to know people, get to connect with people. Right. And I figured out that the easiest way to connect with people was actually to organize my own event and to invite them. So yeah, this is a little bit disruptive or maybe crazy, to come to a new city and not knowing anyone, not having a network, and just starting an event series actually.
Yeah.
But that was one of the best decisions I made in my life.
Okay, so how did it go? How many people did you have at the first event?
So I was expecting 5 to 10 people to come.
Yeah.
And actually 70 people came.
70 people?
70 entrepreneurs came.
The first event?
First event.
You didn't know anyone?
I didn't know anyone.
Wow, that's kind of impressive.
Yeah, but I use social media quite well.
Okay.
Without having any experience in particular with social media.
No. I think it's really interesting because it's quite different than your background.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with my background. I have a Master of Science in Business Administration. I'm also a certified project manager, and I worked 4 years as a private banker. So nothing to do with event planning and networking. Wow.
So how did you think about it? How did you feel it? Oh, I want to do something else, and when did it start? Oh, this is not what I want to do. This is
exactly what happened actually.
In your cubicle.
I ended up in the banking industry just like all my friends. We finished business school, and this is where we were all going in Switzerland, where I come from. Yeah, in Switzerland, in Geneva. When you finish your master in business administration, you end up in banks, in insurance, or in the finance industry. This is what you do, and all your friends are doing the same things. All my friends basically were bankers. That was my network. So I ended up being a banker, but I must say that I always had this entrepreneurial mindset. I was even working as a banker. I had an entrepreneurial mindset within the bank. So I was always questioning the systems. Why are we doing it this way? Can't we do it that way? And of course, you're in a big structure. It doesn't work that way.
No.
You have to follow the rules and you're actually just executing. So my creativity and also this will to make changes, to be able to impact the system, didn't have room in the banking industry. I also remember I had a good relationship with my boss. We were quite honest and open with each other. And while working for him, I was telling him, I had this great idea for this restaurant, Yeah. He was like, could you please just focus on your spreadsheets, please? And I was like, but wouldn't you come to my organic, world, I don't know, a new concept I would create. Wouldn't you come to my restaurant? I was like, yes, sure. Just work, please. Yeah. So I always had this entrepreneurial mindset in me, but just didn't know where to start. No. So what happened actually, it's life, I would say, that made me make some decisions. I was working at some point so much in this bank. I had a burnout after 6 to maybe between 6 and 9 months. I was working more than 12 hours per day. Yep. And in the end, I just had no life. I got sick. My body just couldn't handle working so much, psychologically and physically. So I had a break for almost 2 months. I resigned. So I just realized that was not for me. Yeah. It was not worth all the money I was making. It was not for me. I resigned, and during 2 months I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Right. Trying, I ended up again in another bank. This is what you have in Switzerland. But still, I wasn't happy again. Right. I was in charge of a portfolio with very wealthy clients, in direct contact with them, making a lot of money with a nice title, with a good future, I would say. And everything would have been clear for me. I would have been promoted in 2 years, making more money every year. Yeah. What could I wish for? But still I wasn't happy. And I was always looking around. I saw an opportunity at the University of Geneva as a teaching assistant in management and PhD student. My father always pushed me to do a PhD. So I was always curious to do it, and also wanted to follow his advice. We say your parents know better than you. So starting this PhD was also one of the biggest mistakes I made in my life. So never follow not your parents' advice, but it's better to listen to yourself. Yeah. And what happened is, again, I worked so much. I had 300 students to take care of, bachelor and masters. 300 students every week coming at your office, asking you questions, asking you if it's going to be in the next exam, what's going to be in the next exam. Please don't make it. Don't put it in the next exam, Mm-hmm. I just couldn't deal with that. And I was so frustrated not to be able to work on my PhD. That's what I was for. I was there for. I resigned. And then again, I was really now focused and please try to think, what do you really want to do? Mm-hmm. You just end up quitting. You quit 3 times now in less than 2 years. What's going on? What's wrong? There's something wrong. Your body is telling you that there's something wrong. Your body cannot handle that. It's not humanly possible to work so much. Your mind just wants to escape. Each time when I was working in the bank and also at the university, I was just looking out of the window and telling myself, this can't be life. I can't just be sitting on a chair and in front of a computer. I need to interact with people. I need to connect with them. I need to be on the field building projects and tangible projects that I could see from an idea they go to creation. I wanted to be a creator, actually. I wanted to create things, but I didn't know what. I didn't know where and how to do it. I started again to apply for jobs. Trying to do consulting.
Banks again?
No, this one. I learned. I tried to learn, but I went to consulting, not too far, but still different, project management. There, they asked me to have a project management certification, which I did. Yep. While doing that, I realized that this is what I want to do. I have the profile of a project manager, which is also related to event planning. It's the same thing basically. Yeah. This is how, I mean, it's these little things in life that in the end, maybe I was lucky that it happened, that I quit so many times, that this guy at an interview for a consulting position told me, we need a project management certification. I went to do it and realized even more that maybe it's not consulting that I want to do, but maybe it's something really into project management. But what type of project management? I can tell yet. I still need to discover by myself what's next.
Yeah, so this was how many years ago? 1 year, 2 years ago?
It was 3 years ago.
3 years ago?
Yeah,
So then you worked as a project manager?
Not at all, no. So when I got my project management certification, I was pregnant at the same time.
Okay.
We had a baby, and my husband, who's Norwegian, I wasn't employed, so he said, this is an opportunity maybe to start something new, a new beginning. Yep. We're having a baby, it's a new beginning. He got an offer in Norway. So why not just go to Norway? And I just said, yes, let's go, because it can be worse than Switzerland in terms of entrepreneurship. And Geneva, especially, the ecosystem is so focused on banking that there is no room for entrepreneurship.
No, I understand. So then so you came to Norway and you created Drink Entrepreneurs, right?
Yes, exactly. I started this networking event to connect with the startup ecosystem, to either find a job within the startup or to start my own startup after a while.
Okay. So what drove you? Weren't you very afraid when you had that good position in a bank? Weren't you very afraid to take the leap, to change something?
No, because it was the cost of opportunity was higher by not taking any initiative to do something else.
Yeah.
The opportunity cost, sorry. But the cost for my life and my health was higher. So at some point, I just couldn't see my life like that. I didn't want to look back on my dying bed, looking back and saying, this is what I've done. I wasn't happy with my life. I just did this job that I really, really liked. Yeah. And I was just criticizing the system. I was just like making money for people who have no money. There's nothing wrong with making money, but this is not how I saw my life. This is not the purpose of my life. It's doing good. I realized that what makes me happy is to actually make other people happy. I'm not happy if I'm not making people happy. Making them happy is not only by helping them to make more money if they already have money, but it's to actually help those who don't have money to create their own opportunities and make money.
So right now you are the founder of Drink Entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And do you work also on some other projects, or?
Yes. So yeah, exactly. So actually now I am CEO and co-founder of a startup, Gründer.com.
Okay.
Soon to be launched. Stay tuned. And this is the result of Drink Entrepreneurs. Okay. Actually, you see, so it's connecting the dots. At some point, it makes sense.
Yeah.
When I was at the university, I was interested in knowledge sharing, but I didn't know why. Why knowledge sharing? Even when I was in the bank, I was actually on a knowledge sharing project. So I wrote all the knowledge database for the bank. So I was already into knowledge sharing, and now this project I'm on is about sharing knowledge with entrepreneurs and building a community for entrepreneurs to help each other.
Okay. So you are involved in different projects. So if you go right now at a cocktail party and someone asks you, so Raya, what do you do? What would you answer?
So I would say that for the last month, it was easier to answer. I can today say that I'm the CEO and co-founder of Gründer.com, even if it's not there yet. Before, it was even confusing for myself. What I was doing, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just organizing events, but it was not just organizing events. But for the startup community, people who knew me, it was, Raja, so she's the organizer of Drink Entrepreneurs. Yeah. But why is she always there? We see her in all the hubs. We don't know what she's doing. And I didn't know what I was doing. I was just meeting a lot of people and helping them, trying to help them. So when a startup tells me during my event that they're facing some challenges, because I'm curious, I want to know what they're doing. Yeah. And I ask them questions. I have an entrepreneurial educational background as well. So I asked them maybe the right questions, and I want to help them on the strategy, on the marketing, give my input. So this is how I end up sitting down with them in their office and discussing with them different challenges that they face. This is what I've been doing for free, investing a lot of time in helping these startups, in building my own network, in just getting to know people, the entrepreneurs, listening to their story, and trying to find a way to help them to scale what I was doing. And this is what we're doing now. So actually, when I look back, I always knew that I wanted to help entrepreneurs. I always knew that knowledge was very important for anyone starting a business.
Yeah.
Network was also important.
Right.
And a lot of startups were coming to me asking for investors. Connection. So now the product that we're building is tailored this way.
Okay. That's really interesting. But apparently you built a great community, right?
Yeah,
Even
exactly.
though that Norway is not that big and the startup world is not so developed like in some other countries, you managed to have a database of a lot of entrepreneurs, right? Actually, we did have an event yesterday.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So yesterday we had an event, more than 250 people attended, entrepreneurs.
It's quite impressive.
Yes, I'm very happy, very proud of it.
And this is just in a couple of months, right?
Yeah, exactly. We started in February. And after the first event, I had 70 people who attended, 70 entrepreneurs, and then it was just growing. We also were part of the Oslo Innovation Week, and more than 330 people registered.
Wow, yeah.
That was a big success.
Yeah, I guess like when you see such a big growth, you need to understand that something big is there.
Yeah, there is. No, exactly. There is something behind it. Yeah.
So.
But I remember actually I had met some people from the startup community, and they were asking me, so what's your agenda?
Yeah.
When I started the Drink Entrepreneurs, it was in March. And I looked at them and said, I have no agenda. Yeah. I'm just following this drive that I have, this energy that I have right now. I'm just capitalizing in it.
Yeah.
I just know that there is an opportunity. I have a great opportunity of not working because my husband just accepted that I was so stubborn. He would give up asking me to find a job. I just knew that I need time to know what I want to do in my life. I had this great time opportunity. I knew the little voice inside me was telling me, meet people, ask them questions, get to know them, and try to figure out how you can help as many people as possible.
Yeah, that's a good strategy.
I don't know if it's a strategy, but it was just my drive, my passion. And I would say it made it easy. And this is a big strength. I would say something very positive that that is on my favor is that it was a new environment. I didn't know anyone, so I just didn't care.
Yeah.
I couldn't care less of what people would think about me. Yeah. Probably they were thinking that I was just a crazy drink entrepreneurs girl running around this startup community, inviting everyone to her networking events. Yeah. I don't care. No. I don't care because I wasn't doing anything wrong. I could always justify what I was doing and why I was doing it. It's to help you, entrepreneur. Yeah. Why wouldn't you come to my event,
Exactly. So being fearless, it helped you a lot, right? To build the network.
Yes, being fearless.
And helping. Yes. Almost everyone that you...
Anyone I could meet, I was helpful. I was trying to do my best. Even sometimes I got questions such as, do you know which telephone company in Norway is good for entrepreneurs who are calling in the US? I was like, seriously, I have no idea. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I'm going to try to help you. So I was helping.
Yeah. So how does a workday look like for you?
Right now?
Yeah.
Right now, I would say that, of course, when you start a company, you have so many things to do. And anyway, when you work in a company, you have so many things to do. There is no particular work day. I couldn't tell you how it looks like. Most of the time I have meetings to build partnerships. Yeah. This is the stage where we are now, building partnerships. Yeah. And a lot of strategy and following up on the IT team, the tech team, trying to, for example, yesterday we were rebuilding the whole product. So we had to kind of restart from scratch.
Yeah.
I was a little bit unhappy with the current features, but this is how it is. And no day is similar, and this is what I like. This is exactly why I'm doing this.
Yeah. So what do you like the most about what you're doing right now? But what would you say that you sacrifice or dislike, or what would you say that are the challenges?
What I like the most is the freedom of thinking, the creativity, the energy, because I'm so passionate about what I'm doing. I just have so much energy. It's, I wake up at 6 a.m. The first thing I do is check if I get messages from my team. Mm-hmm. At midnight, honestly, I give a good night kiss to my husband and I go check my Trello board, my Facebook group with my team to check if there is any update and how can we keep on going with the project? How can I help them? Yeah. So, and I would say this is the good part, but there is also there are also sacrifices a lot. Yeah. Insecurity. Yeah. Some days it's really going well. I'm really happy. I love what I'm doing, and I just feel that the universe is helping me so much, And the other day, I met someone who gave me bad feedback, or just wanted to advise me, or I saw that a competitor is exactly doing what we want to do, and it's the worst day of my life, Yeah. But what I keep in mind is that it's tomorrow. Life always gives you another chance, and it's called tomorrow. Tomorrow, I have no idea how it's gonna be. No. It can only get better, why not?
Exactly. and I guess it's a learning process.
Yes.
Right? So it doesn't matter so you quit it 3 times until now, but apparently you learn all the time, right? So you learn what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, where you can help the most. What would be your advices for someone choosing a new career path? So someone like you, sitting in the cubicle thinking, I just don't like it. I just want to do something else. Or for a young person that is 17, 18 years old that will try to be an entrepreneur. Like, what would be your advices for someone like that?
It's cheesy, but really, what's your passion?
Right.
What do you like doing? What would you do even if you didn't get money for it?
Right.
And also, if you had all the money you could imagine or you could hope to get, what would you still be doing? Yeah. If you were a billionaire, how would you spend your time? Honestly, if you tell me that you would just spend your time on holiday, I don't even want to talk to you, But if at this point you're thinking about, I don't know, I asked myself this question and I think that I would just keep on helping entrepreneurs, but in another way. I would, in this case, invest money.
Right.
That would be that's how I can help them. Yeah. If I am so wealthy. But I would still wake up really wanting to make the world a better place.
Yeah. So you would advise them to try to find their passion. Right?
Yeah. Try to find their passion and question themselves. If they're 70 years old, how would they like to look back at their life?
Yeah.
What's the feeling they want to get?
Yeah.
What do they want to achieve? What do they want to leave for the legacy, for their children?
Yeah.
What would make themselves proud?
Right.
Exactly all these questions, really question yourself and figure out what makes you happy.
Yeah.
Being happy every day, trying to be happy every day is a gift that you can just do to yourself, and you should do it to yourself.
How do you balance work and a family life, right? You have also a kid. How do you balance that? How do you manage to balance that?
There is no balance.
There's no balance.
Adjustments,
yeah.
A little bit of sacrifices, I need to say. I have to be honest. So, actually, it's not work. To me, it's not work. It's the way I want to live. It's my life. Right. So it's life balance,
Yeah.
Life with family balance, I would call,
Yeah.
So you have to be structured and find time for everyone and for other things in your life, because it's not healthy to just focus on work, even if it's what you really want to do. And I feel it because I could just do this all the time, not go to the gym, not meet anyone, not see my kid, not see my husband. Honestly, I love so much my job. I love so much what I'm doing. But I have to find a balance. Otherwise, I would just sacrifice everything and end up actually in 10 years or in 2 years alone. And this is not as well as I would like my life to be.
Yeah. What are some resources that you think someone could find useful, or something that helped you out to find out what's the career path that you would wanna pursue?
So the first, there's actually one book that I read long time ago when I was in the bank.
Okay.
It's The Secret of Innovation of Steve Jobs. I think it's called The Secret of Innovation. And it's all about passion.
Yeah.
And he explains that actually passion helps you build the best product. It's because he really loves what he was doing that he managed to achieve what he did.
Right.
Yes, find your true calling by following your passion.
Right.
That's my book.
You have some movies or some podcasts that also you think people that are listening will find interesting and useful?
Yes, I have some movies in mind. For example, I remember watching Pumping Iron. I know the Schwarzenegger story. Very inspiring. Very smart guy. Very strong mindset. Very impressive. And I would recommend to watch these movies, actually, this type of movies, because they just inspire you. They show you that it's possible. Nothing is impossible. Yeah. And this is my leitmotiv, my mantra. I have like many mantra. Nothing is impossible, really, like Nike. Nothing is impossible. Just do it. And, again, just do it. And, just don't care. Don't care. Yeah. Life is too short to care about what people are going to think about you. As long as you're not doing anything illegal, it's fine. Just do it. You can always justify it and be happy. Yeah. That's it.
And also you said something that I remember and I really liked. Like you said, just do it. Like if you ask yourself you should do it or not, that's too late.
Yeah, exactly.
Just do it. Don't ask yourself so many questions as long as legal. Yeah.
Yes. When you start asking yourself questions, it's too late. No, you should shut down your brain and just do it. Just start to go into action.
Yeah.
Don't stay in the reflection and thinking. Yeah. Don't overthink things. Just try. Test. Just action, like your product.
And iterate. Yeah. Exactly. It's working, it's not working.
Exactly.
Take feedback.
Exactly. Just like when you test your product on the market.
Exactly.
Just launch it.
Yeah.
If it's crap, who cares? Yeah. We don't care.
How do you see the future for this type of job? And I guess also I can ask you also for the banking system, right? Since you worked a couple of years, how do you see the future for the banking system, and how do you see the future for entrepreneurs?
I think that the banking system is going to be disrupted by entrepreneurs. Actually,
yeah,
this is the impact that they're going to have, and it's great because we need to have more disruptive thinking in the systems, the current systems, because they have proven that they're not efficient.
No, yeah.
They will be efficient when everyone is empowered
to
have an impact. That's democracy.
Yeah.
When everyone is empowered.
I totally agree. And I don't really like banks, so I really like that you don't work in a bank anymore because I wouldn't talk with you. I'm joking.
I might go back. If my startup fails, I will go back for sure.
I think it was created with a good thing in mind, but I think it just derailed. So right now you will have complicated systems that were supposed to solve problems, but right now they don't really solve any problem, right? And technology is here that could help us do exactly the same thing.
Exactly.
So I totally agree with you that banks will be really disruptive in the next years. So what do you think about the entrepreneurs? How an entrepreneur would look like in 10 years? Would you think that it will have just one business, or right now with this technological explosion, do you think an entrepreneur probably will have a couple of businesses?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, I think that entrepreneurs can have many businesses.
Yeah.
But first of all, they have to start with one.
Yeah.
And one is already difficult.
Yeah, that's true. That's very
So
true.
remember, 9 out of 10 startups fail, and this is really true. You can believe that your startup is going to be the next big thing. You can have the greatest team, but it's so fragile. Startups, they depend they depend on people. You are maybe 3 in the beginning. If one leaves, that's a big deal for your company. You have to find someone else. And it's not so easy to find someone else with who you get along with, who has the capacities, the competences, who maybe accept to get less money or no money at all.
Yeah.
So starting a startup or starting a business is very, very, very difficult, I would say.
Yeah.
And actually, it's better not to know everything that you will face. If you knew, you probably wouldn't start.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe even if you knew, entrepreneurs are so crazy that they will give it a try anyway.
Yeah.
It's
I think
contradictory.
yeah, but I totally agree with you. Because also the guy from Alibaba, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He said that they were so crazy, but they were really lucky that they didn't know a lot of things.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why they dared.
Yeah.
But also on the other hand, I think the people listening that want to be entrepreneurs, I think if they take the course from Y Combinator, how to start a startup, then you learn much more like how much hassle it is.
Yeah.
Because also when when I started my startup, it was, I'm going to launch in 6 months.
Yeah.
That's so silly. Like to be able to make a product, a really good product, you need at least 1 to 2 years.
Yeah.
So most of the startups will wait 2 to 3 years until they're cash flow positive.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing how a startup works, I think is really useful for people to know,
Yes.
but also not knowing that much, sometimes it's so I guess it's that balance. Like you don't need to know everything. It's okay. Actually, it's quite helpful
Yes.
not to know because maybe you get scared and you don't do anything.
Yes, it's true.
But also on the other hand, you need to have some information to have an idea how a startup works from the beginning.
You need to be realistic.
Yeah. So,
But as an entrepreneur, you're not really realistic.
No.
You're starting a new business. You're not realistic.
and when you pitch investors,
Yeah.
you should be like a delusional, crazy guy. You should see the future. So pretty much you are in the future in 1 or 2 years and you're pitching how much money you will make. Right. So pretty much you need to be really confident, and that's not realistic because probabilistic, you will not hit that target. It will be either higher or lower. Right.
Yeah. And out of 10, it's going to be
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, exactly.
Do you think there are some hobbies or side things that are useful for this type of career path? Like as an entrepreneur, do you think it's a hobby or something that will help your mindset or the way you think?
It depends what will be your job as an entrepreneur. But I think that entrepreneurs need to connect with people. So
like
network. Your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
You don't value it. We don't value it enough.
No, yeah.
You basically need people. We are human beings. We live in communities. We need each other to get food, to get food, to survive, and to build things together.
Yeah.
You cannot build a house on your own.
No.
Maybe if you're really, really, really skilled.
Yeah.
But it's better to do it with other people. It goes faster and better.
Absolutely.
So networking, connecting with people, valuing human relationships, and taking care of them. So also another advice I would give is that I don't want to say like build your network, but just like create value connections because relationships because you will need them. So build your network before you need your network.
Yeah.
You cannot go to someone and say, "Hi, I really want an investment in my company." But if it's been 2 years that you know him, it's easier. Like I have now on my advisory board, a friend of mine. And he knows me, he knows my family, our kids play together. I'm pretty sure that if he didn't know me, he would never accept me, He would never accept to be on my advisory board.
Relationships are really important.
Yes. Building relationships with people.
Yeah. Do you have a Twitter handle? or a blog where people can reach you or they can find more about what you do? And also, for the listeners, I will also put this in the show notes so they can check out.
I would say right now, well, our Facebook page is not published yet.
Okay.
I have an account Twitter, but I'm more on Facebook. I'm very active on Facebook.
Yeah.
So Facebook works pretty well for me. I have all my connections. I always reply to messages. This is how I connect with people using Facebook right now.
Yeah, but it will be really international. So I guess assuming that
Raya Skogland, they can connect with me. That's not a problem. I will say hi.
Yeah. Okay.
And maybe I can mention the future website.
Yeah.
And Facebook page, which will be grunder.com.
Okay. How do you spell that?
Grunder.
Yeah.
It means founder in Norwegian. J-R-U-N-D-R.
Cool.
Grunder.
Cool. So I guess thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Next time it's your turn to answer all the questions.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Deal. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, folks. I hope you enjoyed listening to Raya Skogland. So guys, if you want to learn what steps Raya took to create such a big network in record time, or how much money did she leave on the table when she left Geneva and how she did it, please visit 99careeroptions.com/2 and sign up for the webinar so you can ask whatever questions you might have yourself. Yes, you will be the interviewer instead of me. Before you leave, it will mean the world for me if you can leave a review and share my work with people that would find it useful. Maybe it is a brother, a sister, a friend or a niece, someone choosing a career path. Thank you so much for listening, guys. You are awesome. Don't forget that you can be whatever you want to be as long as you know your options. You are the reason and hopefully the support for these interviews, so please send me feedback and advice if you want me to change something, add some questions in my interviews, or interview someone with a particular job that you're interested in. See you later.